Hello, my name is Eduardo, and today I am here with a new tutorial for App Inventor, and today I'm just going to show you this helicopter game that we were making. Well, I add some changes to this, okay, to this project. So the first thing is the helicopter. I did something really fast, okay, a little bit more pixelated. Okay, and I reduce the size of the helicopter, and I also add 4 buildings more. So now we have 12 buildings, and if you have in here, I add here this thing that we are going to use as lights. Okay, and the score and a label. Well, for this part, okay, for this section, I just added an horizontal arrangement first for these 3 pictures, picture 1, picture 2, picture 3, and this is under the canvas. And then I just use this another arrangement, horizontal arrangement, and I inserted here a score label and another label here, and just center them. Okay, so basically that is the idea, and I'm going to show you this. Okay, so just let me reduce this thing. So we have this mini screen. Well, I'm going to show you first the first modification that I add here in the designer. Okay, the first thing, okay, well, I just changed the size of Heli Bomber. So here I just set it, so you have to set it. You were like following my previous tutorials. So change this to 24 pixels and the width to 32 pixels, okay, for the width. So that is for the helicopter. So in this visor or whatever, okay, in this companion, it looks not very good, but in the phone, okay, it looks okay. It looks nice, it looks sharpy, okay, so it is not like blurry like in this thing, okay, because remember I am using my USB cable. Now the other thing that we need to change now is to add here to the canvas image sprites. We need to add 4 more. I add 4 more because we had 8 first, and then I add 4 more to have 12. Then I change the size of the bomb sprite, and the bomb sprite now I set it to height to 16 pixels and the width to 8 pixels. So it's a small bomb because now the helicopter is small, okay, so that's why. So here it's like slow, but don't worry, it is just companion. Now another modification, well, we have this, yes, well, if you want to see this part, so I have under my canvas, or the horizontal arrangement of the canvas, I have another horizontal arrangement. I set it to left, okay, and then center. I change the color to light gray, fill parent for the width, and the height to 15%. Then I added here 4 images. One, it is just like a dummy file. It is just to fill some space here, and I set it to 5%. So you can move it, maybe 4%, it's okay. So I set it to 4% for this image, and it's like pushing these sprites over here just to give some space. And then I add 3 pictures, image 5, image, okay, image 1, image 2, and image 3. Okay, so we have 3 images, and in these images I use the same image of the helicopter. So in this case I am using the new image, remember, that is Heli 2. So, and I have these images in here. Okay, the next thing I added, as I told you, another horizontal arrangement inside this horizontal arrangement, and I add a label. It doesn't matter the name for this label, and just rename the text to score, and then the other one I renamed to the score label, because this is going to be like interactive label. It's going to be like moving. Then I add another image just for space if it's necessary, but in this case not. But I just added, okay, so just to let you know. Well, as I told you, I added 4 sprites more for buildings. So the modification that you have to do, if you have think, the first thing is this. So try to find in your blocks the section where you have like the counter. It says like counter or something. Here, this counter. It says it's when bump sprite collides with. So now this is because now we need to know how many buildings we have. Well, so in this case I had in the previous version just 8 because we have 8 buildings. But to make it more interactive this and more automatic, okay, we are going to use length of the list from global building sprites, okay. So now this is the first modification. Remember the bomb sprite. We're going to set it to length of the list global building sprites list. So this is the component that we created at the beginning of the app. So when we were like creating all the sprites, so in this one I add 4 slots more for sprite 9, sprite 10, sprite 11 and sprite 12 in the global building sprites list. Okay, remember you have to check the previous tutorials. Okay, so well, you have this. Now the other modification, well, so you first add this and then actually you are going to have your buildings, but there is another modification here. Set image sprite width in this for each block, okay, and the one that we are using in making buildings procedure. So we are going to set it divided by 12 because now we have 12 buildings. At the beginning it was in 8. So you can use here, check, if you don't want to start like, for example, if I want to add 2 buildings more, so let's say that I want to add 2 buildings more, well, you can use here length of list as before, as I did before, and then we are going to use global building sprites list. So this is equals to 12. So now if I add an extra sprite, okay, check, for example, if I want to have 13 buildings, I'm going to add 13, maybe 14, 2 more. So 13, 14, I just have to do this. I have to go to blocks, go in here to add items and add 2 extra slots. And then I'm just going to duplicate this, then to sprite 13, and then this one, sprite 14. And if everything is okay, we will have 14 buildings now automatically. Well, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, we don't have this one because it was like loading, but there is another thing that I forgot, sorry. Is this. We need the images for the buildings. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Check. Now I'm going to add here to this global building image. I'm going to duplicate them. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to use 2 more. And I'm going to select some of these. So now I'm going to use duplicate this one. You can make more buildings or different colors. So, but in this case, I'm just going to duplicate. That's it. Okay. So you can use here square, and maybe I can use a square 1. Yes, I'm going to use a square 1. So now let's try to refresh the screen, and let's wait for this thing, and maybe it would work. So maybe, so we just wait a little. Here in bump edge reach, we have to do the same modification. We have to duplicate this one, and it's not 8. Now it has to be length of the building. And just check. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If you want to add more, well, you can do it as I showed you. You just have to modify this for the add here some slots and at the beginning. Okay, so in this part, that's it, and you have more buildings to make it more interesting. Okay, well, also just remember to change this thing where you have the number 8 that it was equals to the number of buildings. Now we have just the length of the list. Okay, so I guess it's okay, and that is the basic modification for that. Now to add the lights, okay, so maybe we're going to need a graphic for this. Okay, so maybe we can go here and add, I don't know if I have this image. Okay, so you need to add an extra image for this when you lose a life. Okay, a life, my life. So let me check if I have here this helicopter stuff. Yes, I have this one. Check. I have this little graphic. That is the one that I did now. So now I'm going to duplicate this one here in GIMP, and I'm going to add here like a cross or something, and maybe make it a little transparent. I'm going to make this thing empty, transparent, and then I'm going to add this thing. So maybe here a new layer. Maybe we change this to red, and what else are we missing here? Yes, the pen, this pencil. Now we have this, and that's it. Okay, so I guess that's enough. So if we see this, yeah, I guess that's okay. So we're going to export this, and we're going to export it to picture sprites. I don't know if this is the one. Yeah, I guess yes, that's okay. And we're going to call it heli2 dead. That's it, heli2 dead. And I guess we're going to say this just in case, and then we're going to go and import this new graphic. We're going to upload it to App Inventor. Then we look for it. App Inventor, and we go for this folder. I guess it's this. Okay, remember that I will share these images with you. Okay, in a resource folder. I'm going to update it. Okay, if you check in the description of the previous videos, it's the same file. I'm just updating while I am making this thing. Well, so we're going to upload this guy. And now we are going to start like thinking about how to make this thing about lives first. Okay, so we're going to lose life. So every time we collide, okay, the heli bomber collides with a building. Okay, so the building collides with heli bomber. So in this case, we're going to lose a life, but we need to create the variable lives, and we're going to set them to, what about, we're going to set it to 2, because we have the 1, the 2, and the 0 live. Okay, so I guess that's okay. If not, we change it. So now, what happens now? Every time we have this kind of collision, we are going to subtract. Okay, we're going to subtract. If we have collision, we're going to subtract from lives, we're going to subtract 1. But we are going to subtract this only if this value it is more than 0. Okay, so in this case we're going to use here a condition. So we're going to say if, and we're going to insert in here, and we're going to say if lives are more or bigger than 0, well, so subtract this value. Okay, else, so if this is not happening, if this value it is like equal to 0, so we're going to call a game over procedure. I don't know if we create a game over in the other. Yes, we're going to call game over, and we are going to reset the lives to 2. We're going to duplicate this, and that's it. That's it. Basically, that is the idea. Okay, so we're going to subtract this value when we have collisions with buildings. And also, we need to make these things invisible. Okay, so how can we do that? Well, we can use like for each. I am thinking about this. Maybe it is like possible to make here a list of these 3 images. Okay, it's like an arrange like an array, okay, of these 3 images, and then disappear one by one. Okay, so, or we can just set that if this thing is equals to, okay, so for example here we can make it like this. Check, we have this one, for example, I crash. So now what happens? So we need to disappear one of the bombs, one of the helicopters. So maybe we're using for each for this, or we're going to make it, let me think, because I haven't think about this thing. So this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. If this is equals to 0, disappear this one. Disappear. So maybe we can insert a simple condition, okay, inside of this one. So if we are going to subtract values here, so if we have collision, okay, maybe if lives equals to 0, let me think about this thing. So I guess I need to do something just to check if this is working, to avoid making the video, making this video so long. Okay, so just give me a second and I will back with you. Okay, well, I am back and I got a simple solution for this thing about the how to use the lights or disappear these things. Okay, well, the first thing that you have to create is a procedure, and we're going to call it lights p or procedure. Okay, and we're going to insert here a condition with 3 else if statements. Okay, so the first, it says if global lights, we are going to create a variable that it's now remember that we have lights I increase the number to 3, okay, 1, 2, and 3. Then I created a new variable called lives counter. So this variable, it will be increased every time we have a collision, okay, with a building. For example, the helicopter collides with a building. We are going to increase this value, okay. So this is the opposite to the lives. Lives are they will be like decreasing, okay. So what this lives counter, it will be like increasing every time we collide or crash with a building. So now if global lives equals to 1, well, we are going to change the picture of this helicopter, okay, that is image 3. Now if global lives counter equals to 2, we are going to change the image of image 2, okay, with the helicopter dead, okay. And the final else if it is if the counter gets to 3, well, we're going to have this one changed to this. Now when, okay, if the lives, as I told you, okay, before, if the lives are equal to 0, we're going to call the game over procedure. We're going to change global lives or reset the global lives to 3 and global lives counter to 0, okay. So you have to add these 3 things. Another thing that is important, when we start the game and in game over, we want to return the original pictures for these images, okay. So we are going to do that in the game over procedure. So it is in here and I added here the image 1, set it to heli 2, is the same for image 2 and image 3. Basically that is the thing, okay. So we can have that if we check it. So we start. So let's just wait for the helicopter to go and crash with a building, okay. So let's wait for the second pass. Remember that we have second pass. So if we have that, we can see that we change this image for a dead helicopter. So that's it. And if we continue, we are not calling game over because we just have 2 lives, okay. So that's why. And we are going to do something similar with the score, okay. So we are going to increase it. So 2, we missed 2 lives, and we continue again. So let's wait for this helicopter to crash again into the building. It is getting slow, sorry. But it's not the game, it is just companion. We have here collision and it was game over, so we reset the thing over here, okay. So that's it. So basically that is the idea with this thing. We have the reset this the helicopters, and for the score, maybe we can do something really fast, okay, just to not make this video longer because I know this is quite long. We have to check for collisions. The collisions with when the bomb collides. The bomb sprite collides with the building. So we're going to increase this score. So in this case we are going to insert it here in this part where we have like the collisions, okay. So we're going to increase and create a variable call it score, or my score, and we're going to set it to 0, and maybe every time we kill a building we can get like 15 points, okay. So in that case we're going to set every time we do this, okay, we're going to set this to plus. So my score will be like increased by 15, Okay, so we will increase the score every time we have a collision with a building. Or to make it more interesting, maybe we are going to add here a random number from 10 to 14 or to 15. Yes, to make it more interesting. Okay, so to give the illusion that you are giving in another part of the building or receiving different values. Okay, so now also when we call game over, when we have these collisions, when we destroy all the buildings, we continue with the points. Well, in this case we need to fix that, because when we destroy all the buildings we want to continue with our score. Okay, so there is another thing. When you have the score, you need to refresh the label, score label, the text of the score label, and you have to set it here to global my score. Basically that thing, that will be the almost the final part. So, and we are just like missing that thing that I told you. Okay, what if we just finish? We need to create another procedure when we destroy. So duplicate the game over procedure. So we need to duplicate this one, and this is not game over, so this is like next level in this case. Well, not next level, but it's because in this case we are passing when we destroy all the buildings, so we're going to call it next level, and inside this one we are not going to refresh anything. So we continue with the score, but the score will be like reset, okay, or reset when we have the game over. So in the game over, yes, that's correct, you can reset. Let's duplicate this one and let's copy this thing here and score, global my score. Okay, and we're going to set it to 0. Okay, so that thing. And also I'm not going to update in here the label because I want people to see their scores, but when we press maybe this, let me check, global my score equals to 0, I guess that's okay because it will be like refresh in the other part. So now we need to refresh the screen because we create a variable, and we are almost done with this tutorial, guys. I guess this is maybe the final, or maybe not, because I was thinking about adding another thing, other enemies to this game based on the original idea. Okay, in the video that I check the description in the other videos that I have, the game that this is based. So I was thinking about appearing some random stars or something, okay, just to destroy, but maybe that is for another video, maybe next week. Okay, so let's check. So if this is working, yes, we have the score 13, 13, 26, 39, 54. So well, that's the point with this thing. So I guess these are really high scores. Maybe we need to reduce the points we receive for destroying parts of the building. So maybe we're going to set it to a random value between 2 and 5. Yeah, I like that more. And then you just have, well, we were destroyed. Before, yes, I guess it looks better. And well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Okay, so My name is Eduardo. Also share this video with someone who's learning App Inventor. Okay, and also don't forget to give me a like if you enjoy these tutorials about this little app or little game. We just need to build the app and that's it. Okay, remember I will share the images and the files that we were using. Okay, I will share them with you. Okay, so my name is Eduardo. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching this video. Goodbye.